Howdy, and welcome back to Celebrating Vintage Model Kits. Today we're going to be looking at the Lindberg 1959 issue of the Boeing 707 US Jetliner. This is kit number 451-49. It was a box scale and scales out to 1/208. So a few days, or actually less than 2 days ago, I posted a channel update featuring this kit and said that thanks, for the support and for everything that's been happening with the channel in just a little over a month. And I just crossed over 200 subscribers, and I'd said that if when we hit 250, I would give away a kit. And this particular kit here, not actually this exact one, I've got a little nicer one that I'll be giving away. I'd give it away to somebody that made a comment in that video or any videos that came out after that. So stay tuned for the end. I'll announce the winner. But I thought I'd be doing this like in a week or 2 weeks or something like that, but ended up crossing 250 within 24 hours. In fact, as of the time of this recording, less than a day, or a little over a day from when I made the initial one. We've now crossed 275 subscribers and 22,000 views. So I'm just amazed at the support and the interest in these kits and what I'm producing. So thank you so much for all of those of you who are watching and supporting. It's really, really appreciated. So let's talk a little bit about the kit. This was part of a series that Lindberg produced at the same time. They produced all three of the American jets, the Convair, the Douglas, and this 707. They also then produced a Caravel, the Comet, and a Russian transport, I think it was the Tu-104 maybe, as part of this new series of jet transports. So just as jet airliners were starting to come into fashion, Lindberg stepped up and produced a kit of every one of the major players out there. So let's look a little bit more at it. This box art was done by Ray Gadke, who's a pretty well-known artist. Did a lot of box art, a lot of stuff for Aurora, but he also did some of the Lindberg kits as well. You may notice that there's a little window here. This is what they called cellovision, which allowed you to be able to see in and see the plastic kit inside. In this case, you can see the markings. This particular one's got a little bit of a tear in it, but you get the idea of what it was supposed to look like. Look on the side, we've got Lindberg line, repetition of the name, all parts molded to shape, easy to assemble, manufactured by Lindberg Products, Skokie, Illinois. So there's still a little bit of layover competition from the wood kits from the era previous. So they're still talking about things being molded into shape. And then you've got a guarantee free from defect, and you could send in for getting replacement parts. On the opposite side, similar information, nice line drawing of the 707. On the end, a little hard to see on this one, and a little star, the kit number 451-49. The 49 stood for 49 cents. That's probably why it's also underlined as well. And on the opposite end, similar information. So this is a different kind of a box than what we've seen with some of the other. Oh, forgot the backside, huh? So here's the backside of the box. You've got another rendition of the artwork with a little bit of blurb and kind of indicating you can cut this out and use it as a trading card. So we'll take a look at that. Then cut through the dotted line here. If you wanted to open up the box, we're not going to do that. So we got Lindberg sealed cellovision. And it looks like the instructions are just printed right on the back of the box. Step-by-step instructions, for best results, use Lindberg plastic cement. Seems like all the manufacturers had their own line of cement. They're probably all made by one company and just, you know, labeled with their own labels. But as you can see, a fairly simple kit. I mean, there's not much to this. So this kit is completely sealed up. I ended up with 3 of these from one purchase. So one of them I'm giving away. This one I'm going to open up, and another one I'm going to keep, you know, for my collection. So rather than cut the box open, I'm just going to pop the end. So you're going to be seeing this kit brand new and fresh. I got some tissue holding parts in place, keep them from bouncing around a lot, I guess. And here come the parts. And our decals. I think that's everything. Okay. So we've already seen the instructions. Here's our decals. Kind of yellowed a bit. Looks like you get all the windows are in the stripe. Cheat line, I guess, is what they would call. And we've got specific serial number N707PA. So Pan Am was the first purchaser of the 707, and they bought, I believe, 20 of them. They also put out some money for a number of DC-8s as well, kind of hedging their bet. They were both in direct competition with each other. So if you're not familiar with the 707, it came out of a development from an aircraft that was kind of a joint built aircraft that Boeing built to both test to figure out if they could make a transport slash tanker for the Air Force, and then see if they could make a jetliner. Boeing had not been doing very well in the commercial aviation market. Douglas was definitely the dominant manufacturer for commercial, the DC-3 and the whole DC series. And Boeing, they had the Strato Cruiser, and that just did not do well. They lost a ton of money on that whole project. They did well with it being the K90 or the KC-97 tanker, but they did not do well in the commercial market. So they really wanted to be aggressive and try to get some of that. So they built a demonstrator. It was coded the 367-80, just commonly referred to as the Dash 80, and that flew in 1954, and it was an impressive aircraft. The test pilot for Boeing, even at one time, did a barrel roll up in Seattle at an air show with this big 707 aircraft. So they split it off. They made one version, became the C-135/KC-135 for the Air Force, and then the 707 was then produced for the airliners. So this first one here, the 707-120, the first version of the 707 for commercial use. First flew in December 20th of 1957. As I mentioned, Pan Am bought the first 20, and this particular one here, 707 PA, was the coding that the registration numbers that they received on it was a 707-121, and it first flew on March 21st, 1958. So it was technically the first production version of this 707. It was christened the Clipper Maria, and it was part of the inauguration of service in October 17th, 1958. It was done at the National Airport, and it was attended by President Eisenhower, good old Ike. In December of 64, it was converted to a 121B, which I think was a change in the engines. They went, I think, to a turbofan at that time. And then it was withdrawn from service in November of 1980. So this thing hung around for over 20 years in line service with Pan Am. So it was retired in 1980. And then it was finally broken up in May of 1988. Kind of a sad fate for the first jet airliner. And so there's quite a bit of images of 707 PA. Being that it was their first one, there was a lot of publicity photographs taken of it, and they ended up using it in a lot of their advertising. So I'm going to show you some of those images here and a little bit of the advertising stuff that they put out. So have a gander at that. So now we've covered the specific aircraft. Now let's take a look at the kit itself. So it's a pretty small kit, as you can see. Not a lot to it. Molded in, it was probably white, and it's kind of faded out or changed over time to this kind of dirty white color. And let's see if I can get a fit here, but got a little struggle with this. Feels like the pieces might be a little bit warped. Yeah, it's not a very good fit. So pretty simple. You do have some recessed lines for the rudder on this, but the rest of it is all raised panel lines, and the cockpit area is just indented area there, and there is no representation of the cabin windows, cabin doors, nothing. So I guess that would be represented by that speed stripe. So not the best fit on this. Then we've got the wings, one piece, top and bottom. Do have some recessed lines for the flaps, ailerons. No representation of the slats on the front of the wing. And all raised panel lining on this again. Then we've got the tailpiece. Similar again, a little bit of flash on it. Really bad ejector pin marks on the top side. Why do they always got to do it on the top side, not the bottom? And then got one sprue, which has got landing gear wheels, main gear, nose wheel, which has got the tires on it all together as one, and then the jet engines. And it looks like, yep, these are all the straight pipe version of the engine. This one was still a turbojet. And here's what the engine pods look like. Completely open in the front. Then you stick the rear of it on there. And then you get this really jinky looking stand. So that's about it. Not a whole lot to this kit. Very, very simple. Get the kind of impression of a 707. So Lindberg did reissue this kit one other time. 1966, they swapped the decals out for Lufthansa, and they did do another joint issue with Necomisa in Mexico in 1976, still retaining the Lufthansa decals. And then finally, Necomisa as part of their Pegaso series, also then re-released a completely different box in 1985. They also reissued some of the other ones from that series from Lindberg. I actually tried to build the Caravelle from that series, and the moldings are just garbage on it. The decals were garbage. I do not recommend those Pegaso airliners. So that's about it. Oh, the winner for for the drawing is a gentleman by the name of Steve Causey. I think that's how you pronounce it. C-A-U-S-C-Y. So, Steve, in my channel description, there's an email address. So if you could shoot me an email, let me know your contact information, and I will get out to you the unopened kit that you saw in the first video. So if you've built one of these Lindberg airliners, specifically the 707 or any one of that series of these cellovision versions from that first run in 59, please let us know in the comments section. And one final thing, I'm thinking about putting together a video of photographs from viewers of their model kit builds. So if you've built any one of the kits that we featured so far, take a picture of it and send it to me. Again, the email is in the channel description. And when we get enough of them together, I'll put together a little short video featuring everybody's kit builds. So I think that'd be kind of a neat way to share with the community what people are doing and how some of these kits look when they're put together. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and have yourself a great day.